What's up guys, so Trials of Osiris this week is set on Shores of Time for the first time, and it's not the most conventional Trials map in terms of what we expect in the game mode, and it's certainly going to be a different experience inside of Trials, so I wanted to break down what I've learned on this map so far. So firstly, the two map spawns are the same as in Control. Alpha Team spawn is on the back side of the map, or the B to C capture zone side, and Bravo spawn is on the Zone A side of the map. Typically in Control or most 6v6 game modes, the B to C side of the map is the dominant spawn, and you'll experience a lot of map control or camping going on in this area. But with Trials this doesn't really have to be the case, although people will still use those areas in the same way. Both the heavy ammo and the capture zone spawn is in this area of the map. So this time that central area becomes the key place to control, essentially giving Bravo Team spawn the advantage. I would certainly bear in mind the flag cap position, since with this being a large map where one team has to collapse, you're going to have a lot of slower rounds, and honestly, no matter how well you play, you're going to have to focus on getting control of that mid-river area. Getting overly aggressive can be a big mistake depending on your opponents, because people will camp back with snipers and team shot around a lot of the choke points, which makes it really hard to push aggressively unless your team is very coordinated and winning their gunfights. So if you're in the backside of the map in Alpha Spawn, your focus has to really be pushing through to get control of that river area. Assuming you're playing a capable team, here it's going to be about playing for picks. So off spawn you can head down on the left hand side towards the cave, which gives you a great line of sight down the river towards the enemy spawn. Equally, you can head towards Zone B or the corridor and try to engage there. You can get some really great picks in either of these spots and then try to have your team collapse to win the round. Depending on who you're playing, you need to try and get into these positions fast though. If you're pushing the cave towards mid-river, you can easily be team shot, so don't over-engage against multiple targets. You also need to ensure that your team is ready to capitalize if you get one player down. If you're left on your own against 2 or 3 targets, it can be very easy to lose here. If you're playing from Bravo spawn, the main thing to do is control the river area ready for the cap zone. This will change dramatically depending on the skill level of the enemy team, but it's generally a disadvantage if you try to push through into the BC gap, because just like in Control, people will use those ledges and post up in the back, making them harder to track, and again, it's super easy to get sniped or team shot in these positions, so the reality is that when you're playing a good team, unless you get a pick back there, just don't rush in, and even when you get a pick, you have to be very careful how you push. Losing one of your team can easily mark the end of a round, particularly on this map. Equally, you don't want to rotate from Bravo spawn and give the enemy team control of that space.
I need to help him. He's weak. Yeah, get other guys. Oh, that's how weak he was, Xhoundishx.
This map is one of the trickier places to play Trials for sure, and that's partly because it's a new map, but also because of its layout. Communication is key, and playing for picks will be a big part of successfully winning rounds here. In terms of loadouts, a lot of people is sniping on this map, and it's without a doubt one of the stronger sniping maps currently for Trials. Overall though, keep the communication high, be ready to capitalize when you get enemy players down. Try to avoid bunching up in the few interior spaces on the map, but even when you're split up, be ready to move quickly to take advantage of picks or to get back and help your team if they get into trouble, and it will only get easier. So there you go guys. Anyway, Shores of Time is an interesting map, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on the map down in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video though, a like really helps me out. Be sure to hit subscribe if you're new to the channel to see more Destiny content, but for now, whatever you do, have a great weekend in Trials of Osiris.